Welcome back, everyone. As you probably guessed from the title of the video, as well as the thumbnail, we're talking about a few of the lights that are available during Olight's Summer Bash sale. And if you guys are watching this video, the sale is live. I should be in Iowa for GunCon, but we're recording this ahead of time so you guys can see it. And we have a few of the lights and knife combinations that are going to be available for you guys during this time period. So I'm going to talk about the ones that you guys are probably most interested in right up front, and that would be this guy right here. This is the Odin S, and this obviously is a Scout compatible light here. It is rechargeable. It takes an 18650 battery or two CR123As. Comes with the M-LOK offset mount that you guys see here. And if you guys want to use CR123As, it comes with this spacer here, which this is a really good idea. I'm actually not sure why other companies don't do this, because of course your 18650 is a larger diameter than the CR123As, and this also has a spring that keeps them from bouncing around on the inside. So if you guys want to use those CR123As, you will lose a little bit of output, obviously, over the 18650s, but that is a smart idea from the folks at Olight, so kudos to them for that. But for those who are not familiar with this light here, it's 1500 lumens and 15,600 candela. As you guys will see here in just a second, we're going to do a beam comparison when the sun goes down, but it has the tail cap activation for, you can press slightly and that will give you the low output, and then of course you press full, it's a gas pedal style tail cap, and that will give you high. Additionally, it does come with a tape switch, and anybody who's watched my channel knows I am a big critic of pretty much all tape switches, and that has included some of the Olight ones over the years. However, I think quite literally, because I have basically broken all of their previous designs, they have gone ahead and improved it. So basically you have your magnet, which that's how it used to be, just that was the whole tail cap design, and then of course the activation here that we'll talk about here in a second. Then they added this locking ring on there. And then I fired about 2,000 rounds through my BRN 180 in 7.62 by 3.9, and I messed the function up of that one. And then now they've added a locking ring to it, so you rotate it, and then at that point you can't even pull the locking thing back, and it stays on there. Honestly, good on Olight for listening to me criticizing their product and making it better. They have done that. So it does have this tail cap switch now, and as soon as you rotate out of the way, then you can rotate it down and get it to, I don't know if my microphone will pick that up, but we'll get it to unlock there. And of course, when it is actually on, and then of course you can lock it into place like that and twist it, then you can have your high there with that piece of the actual tape switch, or low. I know some folks like the low option. If that is you, then you are good to go. So you can rotate it out, then pull it out and get it off of there. All of these lights here are going to be rechargeable with Olight's tail cap system, which is nice. You don't have to take it off of your gun to charge your light. And again, you can use any standard 18650 with this. I'm sure there's some that don't work, but all the basic ones, like I used the Sig Sauer throughout the testing and it worked just fine. And basically that is it. Everything is O-ring sealed. You can throw this in your pool if you want to and go LARPing with it, and you will be good to go. So that is the Odin S. I have tons of actual experience firing lots of guns with this light on there. I should note there that the FDE, I believe, is new for this sale. And let's just talk about FDE real quick. It's a weird shade of FDE. This is a SIG M17, so hopefully you guys can kind of get an idea there. It's a little bit lighter of a shade, and that would be true for this guy here as well. This is the PL Valkyrie 3, the Mini, and it's kind of got that weird shade to it. So if you guys are into 50 shades of FDE, these lights will not disappoint. This light here is adjustable, so it has 3 different rails that it comes with from the factory. So it comes with the Hellcat rail insert, which is interesting. Then it also comes with the 1913 as well as Glock. They also offer this piece right here, available for SIG P365s as well as Glock 43X MOSs. If you guys want that, that's available separately though. It comes with the Hellcat Glock and 1913 standard inserts, and then of course, like we just said, the P365 as well as Glock 43X, they offer those separately if you guys are into that. But basically you can mount it up on your rail and then adjust it forward and aft for you Navy folks out there, and get it wherever you would like to activate the actual switches on it. This is a 600 lumen, 25,000 candela light, and basically to activate it, you can actually program it for strobe as well if you guys are into that, but I'm just going to leave it at high only, and you can press down, and of course that is going to give you momentary when you hold it, or if you want constant, you can just click it and that will give you constant. Cool thing about this is that it does have a rechargeable battery, just like this guy. I actually have a lot of shooting experience with this gun, with this light rather, as well, mounted up on various guns. That's one of the nice things when Olight every now and then sends you a pre-production sample, so you can actually get experience with it, so you can speak about it with some sort of actual experience behind you. That is nice. And it comes with 2 batteries there. So these batteries are rechargeable. And just like most of the Olights, it does use the exact same charger there as the Odin S. You can charge those up, and again, it comes with 2, so that way you can hot charge one and use it if you want to, if you're taking like a low light class or something like that. Additionally, if you push this button right here on the side, there's a light there. I'm not sure if you guys can see it here, but it's lighting up green. That, of course, is indicating that it is fully charged. If it lights up red, then you need to charge it. And of course, it has various stages there in between. And basically, you just put it back up in there, slide that piece over, and then it is locked back into place. Additionally, we have a couple other lights here that are going to be offered in like package combinations. I should be rolling those in here on your screen, as well as the prices, simply because, again, the sale hasn't gone live as of when I'm recording this, so I can't give you guys like sale screenshots because they don't exist yet. Again, as of when I'm recording this, but this light here is the Baton 3 Pro, kind of an EDC style light. Obviously, we have our magnetic charger there to charge it, as well as to stick it on whatever you want, whether that be the hood of your car or refrigerator, whatever. You can stick it on there, and then we also have our 2-way clip here as well, which a lot of folks like, so you can, mount it up on a baseball cap, mount it up in your shirt, whatever the case may be, however you want to, and carry it, of course, in your pocket in whatever orientation you want. This, of course, is our activation button. Right now it's giving you the battery indicator of green, letting you know the battery is charged up and basically full, and then you can work through the different modes there by pressing it down or double click and go into turbo, or triple click and go into strobe. We will again show you guys that here in just a second once the sun goes down. Then we also have our little EDC light here, which is the Arcfeld UV. This one, once again, you'll note that we do have our magnetic charging port there, our charging portion of the light. Again, we have a 2-way clip, so you can carry it however you want. One thing I like about this light is you can carry it really, really deep in your pocket if you want to do that. That is something I have enjoyed. This one here has the UV feature as well. So if you guys want to, I don't know, check out a sketchy hotel room or something like that, or like a Democrat Party convention, and see where Bill Clinton has been and other luminaries of the Democrat Party, you can do that. We also have our battery indicator there on the front. Obviously, we have the red and black coloration on this one, which matches up with this guy right here, which is the Rubato. It's not the Roboto like the 80s song, it's the Rubato pocket knife here. We have our lanyard loop on that, and then of course we have the red and black, so it matches up. I believe they're selling this as a combo packet during this sale. And then of course you guys can see we do have our clip there as well, and of course the knife does lock. It has a locking portion right here. Very good overall little blade. I've actually had this one in for a while as well, been using it, and it is not showing any wear for the worse. So that certainly is nice. And you can just press down in your lock and of course put the blade back into your pocket. It has that good ambidextrous activating portion there. And one thing that Olight typically doesn't get right with their knives, most of what they have, they get right. They don't do a lot of jimping here on the back, so if you guys are jimping fans, there's not a ton on the frame and very little up here on the blade as well. That is my one criticism of it. But if I had to guess, in the years ahead, Olight will fix that, just like they did with the tape switch here on this one. So with all of that out of the way, let's wait until the sun goes down and see the beam pattern of several of these lights. Just a reminder for the new folks, if you guys are watching on a computer screen, turn your brightness all the way up, and that will give you as close to what I see here with my human eye as possible. We have our camera on manual. We have a little bit of illumination coming from the moon tonight. That's natural illumination. And right here, we have the Baton Pro on low. The spot there where the wood fence meets the iron fence, it's about 30 yards away. Those trees in the background are anywhere from 30 to 50 yards, depending on the actual tree. We're going to work through the modes here. And obviously, you guys can see there medium, and then high, and then you can double click and that will get you into turbo mode, or you can triple click and that will turn you into strobe mode, and move a double click there, and obviously we are in turbo. You guys can get an idea. It's a pretty floody overall beam pattern, kind of a good situational awareness thing, but we do have a hotspot there, probably, I don't know what, maybe 20 feet wide out there where the fence is. You guys can get an idea there of how that looks. And I'm going to triple click it for strobe. So if you guys have any aversion to strobes, just turn off right now for a couple seconds. And that is the strobe function. And here we have the output from the Arcfeld. That is going to be on low, so you guys can see there, not a ton, but of course your battery life is going to be forever on this setting, and just You're going to press the button and work through the different modes. And there you go. And then again, just like the previous light, if you double click this one, it will go into turbo. Triple click it will go into strobe. So we're going to double click. And that is your turbo. Definitely more of a wall of light than what you just saw. Of course, we still have some candela out there in the middle and a little bit of a hot spot, but you're getting pretty close to maybe 160, 170 degrees of light. So definitely throwing it out there. And then if you triple click it, again, that will go into strobe. And there you go. And we're going to move on to the PL3 Mini. Obviously, this is the output from that little weapon light there. You guys can see we do have a small hotspot there in the front. However, this is not a candela monster. It is definitely a floody type of light for close-in work, as you would imagine most folks would look for compact pistol lights. But you definitely have some hotspot there. At certain distances, that would probably make somebody wince, but it would have to be at close-up distances. Again, that's 30 yards. That's pretty far for a concealed carry situation. Within most home defense situations, that would probably let you know what you're looking at, but it's definitely not what you would expect for a high candela light for sure. Some folks like that, some folks don't. Again, we leave that up to you guys to decide. And here we have the output from the Odin S. Obviously, as you guys can see there, definitely a more high candela, more focused beam pattern. Of course, we still do have some spill out there on the edge. And if we press hard, that will put it into the high mode there. Some folks like the option to be in low. Some folks like high only. I'm a high only kind of guy. But there you can see, obviously, if you look at those trees there in the background, it is definitely illuminating all of them very, very well. We're going to step out the distance with this one here in just a second. Just real quick, let me interrupt here before we go across the lake. I should have pointed this out earlier, but one thing that's really cool about this light is that it has fully potted electronics. Now, as of right now, 2024, I don't know of any other weapon light manufacturer that is currently doing fully potted electronics. It's pretty interesting to see, especially given the price point of this light. And for those who don't know, fully potted electronics, what that means is all the electronics get put into place and then sort of like a moly resin gets poured over them, and then it hardens. So that way there's no way the electronics can move or get bumped off or connections can come apart. So that is something that we used to see like 10 years ago in some of the US manufactured lights, and nowadays we don't see it really in any. So it's interesting to see Olight bring it back here with this light. Now let's get back to the nighttime portion. Once again, for the new folks, we're about 10 yards back on my property. Across the lake here, shore to shore, is about 110 yards. And then another 10 yards back is a little fishing shack on my neighbor's piece of property. Again, we have it set to manual, so this is just the illumination from the moon that you guys are seeing out there. Now we're going to hit it with the PL Mini 3. And again, you'll note there on the right side of your screen, we do have our rosemary bush that is being illuminated up close and personal. So definitely a wall of light type of situation. However, we're going to zoom in, and mind you guys, that's about 130 yards away. So camera sometimes doesn't do it justice in terms of just how far that is for these lights. But if somebody was standing out there in front of that fishing shack, I would be able to see him very easily. I wouldn't be able to tell if they were carrying anything like that. So it's definitely not a throw monster at all. But again, up close and personal here on the lawn, you guys can take a look there at the grass, how well it's being illuminated. So up close and personal, it's giving you a lot of situational awareness. Now we're going to move over to the Odin S, and that would be the low setting, which definitely is giving you more information out there at distance than that PL3 Mini was. And then if we go over there to high, you guys can get an idea of just how much candela that thing has. And we zoom in. As I've said many times, when I zoom in, that's closer to what I see with my human eye than when we're zoomed out in terms of detail. So probably zoom in a little bit more. There you go. So if somebody was standing out there, I would easily be able to tell it. I'd be able to describe their clothing. If something was in their hand, I would have situational awareness of that. And again, 130 yards away, that's pretty far for most defensive engagements. Looking out there in the trees, you guys get an idea there. It is definitely illuminating what is in the trees. If there was larger birds, eagles, stuff like that, you would be able to spot them at this distance for sure. It's not quite as intense though in terms of the light on the lawn or the rosemary bush, but you still do get some flood for sure. All right, everyone, now that you guys have seen the beam comparisons of these lights, you're basically armed with all the information you need to decide whether or not you want one of these or you don't want one of these. That is up to you guys. I always leave that to you guys. I just provide the information for you during these sales. Additionally, I should note, since it is an Olight sale video, there will be a link in the video description for mental health resources. Anybody who's watched this video, clicked on it, even though the actual title said exactly what it was going to be, as did the thumbnail. If you're upset by it in any way, there's a link down below for mental health resources that you guys can check out. I definitely wish you guys the best if that is you and you are upset in any sort of way. Wish you guys the best. So there is that. And for everybody else, happy shopping. I hope you guys enjoy the sale. If anything caught your eye, again, there will be a link down below in the video description for you guys to head over there and pick it up. Full disclosure, it is an affiliate link and it does help the channel out. And with that, that's all I have for you. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next video.